This is WFYI News Now. It's February 4th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Governor Mike Braun names his preference for the next chair of the Indiana Republican Party. And the state says there is an increased activity of drones flying over farms across Indiana and Ohio. Farms that have been quarantined because of an ongoing outbreak of H5N1 or bird flu.
We're concerned that any traffic on and off of those facilities, whether it be foot traffic, vehicle traffic, or even drone traffic, could have the potential to spread the disease if it's going from one farm to the next.
Those stories coming up, but first. President Donald Trump ordered increased deportation activity by immigration and customs enforcement agents around the country within hours of taking office. Immigrants, who make up 6.8% of the population in Allen County, are now coping with the fear of deportation and family separation, whether here with documentation or not. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Ella Abbott spoke with several immigrants in Fort Wayne who are feeling those effects.
Sí, porque al menos yo y mi esposa hemos.
My wife and I, we have been here for a long time and we pay taxes. We try not to get in trouble, and what we have paid for it and we have worked for it.
Yo tengo viviendo en este
I've been
país.
living in this country for 35 years.
Pues el temor que uno tiene el día a
And
día.
the fear that we have every day is that maybe you are gonna go to work and then you're not gonna come back.
Sí, pues nosotros tenemos dos hijas que son ciudadanas, ¿va? Pues
And
ellas
we
también
have two
tienen
children
temor.
who are U.S. citizens, but they are
Ellos
also
estamos
afraid.
aquí, ellos, sí, nos-
And
tienen
they are
miedo
afraid
por
because of
nosotros.
us. Last Sunday during our worship service, I was very moved, and even my voice started breaking because I was telling people we're gonna pray for every immigrant and we're gonna pray for you. And it was very moving to see people crying, sobbing, crying. And it wasn't only one; it was a lot of people with the same thing. Even people who have papers and they have businesses and all that, and they felt moved for what we were doing. I saw a little kid that said, "My dad is not a criminal," and it was like, yeah, your dad is not a criminal. He's a hard-working person that escaped persecution in their countries of origin, and now they are getting persecuted here. And it's what is very sad. My name is Martin Garcia, Reverend Martin Garcia, pastor of Amistad Church.
It's terrifying and heartbreaking just to think a lot of families that are here undocumented that, if they go to work and something happens at their workplace, that they will be separated from their children that likely will be in school. So that's something that is a concern. I worry for the people that I know, for the people that I don't know, and everybody that will be affected by that. And it's very concerning for those people that might be here legally, but English is not their primary language, so they're not able to communicate. And even if they have their papers in as they're supposed to have them, that if they get an encounter, they might not be able to communicate that they're here legally. My name is Raquel Aragon Klein, and I'm the Director for Language Services Network here in Fort Wayne.
It is clear that people in Fort Wayne have been feeling very vulnerable. Most people are focused on, honestly, their families and their work, and they don't want to focus on fear and instability, but it's also individuals that are simply looked at as suspicious, whether it is due to their accent or the way they look. There's just a lot of caution right now. So my name is Irene Paxia, and I have spent my career advocating for immigrant inclusion, language access, and equitable access to resources. And I have both a personal and a professional journey in this field.
We have a lot of anxiety and worry about things and uncertainty. When you see the Burmese community, we have language barrier, so that is a huge barrier to overcome that anxiety we are having now. I'm then thinking about like how I'm going to help my community, and I mean, I've been trying to find a way, but as the situation go, we have no idea what to do. You have to know your right. You are a legal immigrant, and you have your right. And when ICE come in, you just cooperate with this. My name is Nui, and I've been involved since my community since I resettled in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as a refugee.
Como están diciendo que se van a meter a los trabajos.
We are afraid that one day we come to the work and then they come there and then they take you.
Es un temor
And it's a fear and it's that you have every day.
Music for this story was provided by Scott Buckley. Governor Mike Braun has named his preference for the next chair of the Indiana Republican Party, Fort Wayne City Clerk Lana Keesling. Republicans will choose a new chair in March. Governors typically select the person for the job, though the party's state committee officially votes for the role. Keesling was the first Republican elected Fort Wayne City Clerk since 1971. She's also served as vice chair of the Allen County Republican Party and ran unsuccessfully for the state treasurer in 2022. In a statement, Braun says Keesling's experience gives her a deep understanding of what local parties need to grow and succeed. And for our final story today, the Indiana Department of Homeland Security says there is an increased activity of drones flying over quarantine farms across Indiana and Ohio. As Side Effects Public Media's Ben Thorpe reports, those farms have been quarantined because of an ongoing outbreak of H5N1, or bird flu. Officials are worried the drones could spread the virus.
Just under 10 farms in Indiana had bird flu outbreaks so far this year, with over 400,000 birds impacted. Denise Darrow-Spears is the Public Information Director for the Indiana State Board of Animal Health. She says some of the drone reports have been verified, but officials don't know who is operating the drones or why.
We're concerned that any traffic on and off of those facilities, whether it be foot traffic, vehicle traffic, or even drone traffic, could have the potential to spread the disease if it's going from one farm to the next.
The Indiana Department of Homeland Security is asking for information about the drones. Flight restrictions are being considered, with both the FBI and FAA working with the state to monitor the airspace above quarantined farms. I'm Ben Thorpe.
And that's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin and Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.